What's up, guys? Justin Captain Pro here. Appreciate you guys taking some time to check out today's broadcast. We're going to be talking today about my client conversion formula. This is the third part in this series. We've been talking all week long about how to convert social media interactions into paying clients. Today's the third part in the series, and I'm going to wrap this up for you and put a bow on it so you know exactly what you need to be doing. This content is for those of you guys that are struggling with social media. If you're trying to get more results from social media, more results from your content, you're frustrated, overwhelmed with the posting schedule and keeping up with all the things. I've been talking all this week long how we take those social media interactions and really generate some real results from them. I've been challenging you to do some work this week, but hopefully it's been good for you, and excited to put a bow on this content for you today. So excited to bring you to the rest of this morning. All you guys that know me, you know who I am, you know how I roll. I would love to have you hit that share button and invite your crew into the broadcast. Get anybody in here that you think may want to hang out with us and take part in this conversation this morning. All right, great morning to you, Jacqueline, Adam, Tracy, Brian, Susie. I see you. Y'all are amazing, and I appreciate you. As always, guys, my mission is to get you thinking differently, acting differently, and believing differently than you would have if you had not otherwise connected with me today. And I plan to be a good steward of your time. So let's dive right straight up into this. All right, hold on. All right, guys, that is who I am. That is what I do. Justin Captain Pro is my name. JustinCaptainPro.com is my website. I'm a startup business mentor and a branding strategist that specializes in helping startup entrepreneurs turn your passion, your gifting, your idea into a profitable and sustainable brand that rises up in this challenging digital marketplace to draw in the 21st century consumers that want and need what you have to offer. Guys, I broadcast live every single weekday morning from Tuesday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, hooking you guys up with business building tips, hacks, and principles, anything I can give you to help you grow your business, expand your ministry, bring your vision to life, and grow that brand of yours online in this digital marketplace. All right. Great morning to all of you. Navika, I see you, my friend. Thanks for coming in. Kat, great morning to you. Maddie, what's up, girl? Thanks for being here. Jacqueline, you rock, and I appreciate you as well. Again, guys, we're going to be talking today. It's the third piece in the conversation that we've been having all week this week. On Monday, I challenged you with the first two elements of this, where we talked about who and what you're going to focus on, and then we talked about how you establish and offer something that people want and need. Yesterday I took you into the next three pieces, where we talked about emotional pain points, and we talked about emotional triggers, and then we talked about setting up your hook. I'll give you a quick recap of the day. Here's your recap. If you want to snapshot that screen, that's what we talked about so far. So through those 5 things, y'all, I've been challenging you for the past 2 days to be not only thinking about these things, but doing a little bit of work. And hopefully you've done that work, because one of the things that I'm going to be talking about today, primarily, point number 6, is I'm going to be talking to you about how to create a content map. So this is one of the biggest questions that I get all the time, Justin. How do I create content? How do I come up with new content? How do I make my content relevant? I'm going to spend a lot of time on that point today, but hopefully you've done the work up to this, because the work, especially yesterday, we're talking about triggers and pain points and all those things, is necessary for us to have this conversation today. So hopefully you've been doing that. As always, I'm going to summarize all my points for you at the end of the broadcast, guys, today, but I do challenge you to take your own notes and capture the information that applies to you. I'm going to start you out with my quote of the day, which is by Tiffani Bova. I've been sharing this one all week, and I love this quote. Tiffani says, "How you sell matters. What you sell matters, but how your customers feel when they engage with you is what trumps everything else. Purchase decisions are driven by feelings." We've been talking about, especially yesterday, we've been talking about feelings and emotions, and how each thing that you do with social media and every step of your content has to ignite a certain amount of feeling. And a lot of what keeps people stuck from moving forward with you, if I take you back to the very beginning of our conversation, if I take you back to the title that drew you into my broadcast today, where I tell you my step-by-step process for how I'm going to teach you to turn social media interactions into paying clients. You're intrigued by that topic and you want to come in. Yeah, Justin, I want to learn your process for how I turn social media interactions into paying clients. what that tells me is that you want to get more from your social media. You're looking to attract more from your social media. You're looking to get more results from your posts and your videos and your blogs and all the things that you're doing. What's stopping your audience from taking whatever step? I got a hair here that's bugging me, so I'm going to get rid of it. If you're doing work on your social media and you're feeling frustrated that the work and the effort and the time that you're putting into your social media content is not converting the results that you want, there's a barrier. There's a barrier with your audience. There's a reason why they're not taking a step towards you. There's a reason why they're not opting in. There's a reason why they're not purchasing what they dropped in their cart. There's a reason why they're not visiting your website. And it's an emotional block. Something there is stopping them emotionally. Something hasn't been triggered enough emotionally. So emotions are a powerful part of this process. So yesterday, one of the steps we talked about was to define their emotional pain points. Hopefully you took time for yourself to identify what are the things that they're feeling. And we brainstormed around me a little bit, around my content. We talked about the type of audience that I'm interacting with, maybe dealing with frustration, overwhelm, irritation, lack of belief, doubt, all those things, right? All those things are blocks. All those things are walls that are standing between them and you, whatever it is you're trying to help them with. There's a wall there. So the best way to knock down those walls is to design your emotional triggers. So we went through emotional triggers yesterday. We talked about what that looks like and how to set that up. So with that in mind, we're going to step right into our number 6 point today. And we're going to continue this conversation. Maggie, great morning to you. Michelle, Stephanie, Monty, what's up to all y'all? I appreciate you guys coming in, all right? So point number 6, let's dive right straight up into this thing. Point number 6 for you today is to create an engaging content map. Create an engaging content map. Again, this topic and this point today, we're going to spend a good bit of time on this. I'm going to spend way more time on this point than I probably am on 7 and 8, simply because this piece is the piece that's not only so important, but this piece is what so many people tell me they're struggling with. What so many people are telling me that they can't seem to figure out. So we've identified what we want to lead people to. We've identified who needs it. We've identified, based upon the people that need it, what emotional pain points they're struggling with. Once we've identified their emotional pain points and what they're struggling with, then we established our emotional trigger and we know what we want to do. Again, to remind you yesterday, my emotional triggers are clarity, vision, and confidence. I'm really good at establishing clarity, and I make that my mission. I want to, just like what I'm doing with this content right now. If you're struggling and frustrated with social media and you're trying to figure out how to turn those Facebook posts or those Instagram posts or those YouTube videos or whatever into paying clients, I'm teaching you the step-by-step process and the thought process that has to happen between point A and point B to get them to point B. So we're talking through that process. So I'm trying to give you clarity. Clarity is powerful because if I can ignite clarity, clarity can offset frustration. Clarity offsets overwhelm. Clarity can offset lack of belief. Clarity can offset doubt, burnout, confusion, fear. Clarity can do a lot of things. And as I described yesterday, if I can provide clarity, clarity's big. And I think my audience would agree with me. Those guys that follow me and watch me often would say that I'm really good at taking tough subjects and breaking them down into very simple terms where you're like, oh, I get it. I see what I'm supposed to do here. Now I understand it. So clarity is powerful. And in a lot of cases, not all cases, but in a lot of cases, clarity is enough for me to get someone off the bench and get them taking a step towards me, but not with everybody. So a good chunk of my audience, all I need to do is just give them some clarity and they're ready to move forward. But then there's some people too that clarity is nice, but clarity is not enough to get past some of the thicker emotions that they have. So there's an audience of people, some of you guys may be here today, you'd be like, Justin, this is nice. Thanks for the information, but I've tried so many things. You have no idea how many videos I've done. You have no idea how long I've been doing this. I should be way farther along than this, and I'm just to the point where I'm just not sure this is going to work for me. You got a belief problem. So for you, clarity is not enough because I've given you clarity, but you're so convinced that you've tried all the things already and nothing's ever worked for you. You're not sure this will work for you either. And so I have to go a little deeper on you, and that's where I have to reignite your vision. Because when you start feeling frustrated, defeated, overwhelmed, you're starting to lose the vision for where you can really go and what you can really do, and you're starting to lack belief in that. And Bible says without a vision, people perish. And I believe that directly applies to business as well. If you lack vision for who you are, what you can be, and where you can go, the likelihood of you moving forward towards anywhere near that destination is slim, because you have to have the vision for where you're going before you can actually take steps and progress towards that direction. All right, so vision for me is a big one. So I do a lot of vision casting. I really try to ignite your senses to get you to see what's possible for you. And I think all you guys that are my clients, good morning, Camille, thanks for coming in, my friend. I think all you guys that are my clients, those guys that have ever had a one-on-one phone call with me, you would agree that I'm a vision caster. I'm a visionary. So, and I get excited about that. That's why I love what I do, because God's given me a gift of vision where it's like I can reverse engineer stuff. And I've been able to do this since I was a little kid. You know, I would go to a restaurant and have some sort of meal, and I'd have the meal, and the meal would be really good, but I could taste the seasonings that were in it. I could see the process for how they cooked it. I'd be like, I can make this at home, because I can just see what's possible. I can see a complex problem, and in my mind I can break down the steps that are necessary to undo the problem. So vision is a powerful process for me. So I do very much, or spend a lot of time and energy and emphasis with my people, with my content, with my clients, trying to establish vision, because I know vision is powerful, and where there's a lack of vision, there's a lack of momentum and a lack of progress. But if I can reignite your vision, if clarity wasn't enough to get you moving, vision might. All right, so clarity and vision are triggers for me. And then the last one was confidence. Confidence is trickier to address, because we're not born with a lack of confidence. Insecurity and low self-esteem and lack of confidence is developed through experiences. So it's hard to undo that. But clarity can dramatically improve confidence. And I think a lot of people that are lacking confidence are simply lacking clarity. You're lacking confidence in your content because you're lacking clarity on what you should be even doing with your content. You're lacking confidence in your message or in your ability to talk to your audience because you're lacking clarity on what you should actually say. You're lacking confidence in your call to action because you're not clear on exactly what your call to action is or should be, or what people are supposed to do. So when there's confusion, when there's questions in there, a lack of clarity can represent a lack of confidence. But clarity will give you confidence in a lot of ways. May not completely bring you up to the fully confident you that you're designed to be, but it can dramatically improve the level of confidence that you do have. And I shared this with you yesterday, and if you did not write this down, I will tell you this again. All right? You have got to, when you establish clarity, clarity equals confidence. Write this down, all right? Clarity equals confidence. Clarity plus confidence equals clients. All right? Clarity equals confidence. Clarity plus confidence equals clients. Confidence is a necessity. That's one of the reasons why I designed that to be one of my emotional triggers, is because I have got to instill confidence in people, because I don't care how clear you are on your message or how much you have established a vision for your business. If you lack confidence in your ability to deliver whatever it is you're trying to deliver in your business, your audience will lack your confidence and ability to deliver for them. All right? Confidence is a necessity. Doesn't mean that you got to be some boisterous extrovert that's a thought leader and you come out and you make an impact. What it simply means is that you do have to be confident in your own gifting. All right? You've got to be confident in your own gifting. And this is the thing I will tell you too. I want everyone to understand that nobody starts out as an expert. Every expert was once a beginner. Every pro was once an amateur. Everyone is at their own stage. All right? So you can't be insecure about the skills that you have yet to master. You have to be confident in your potential. And so I'm challenging you to be confident in the season that you're in and establish, this is really where it comes from, spiritual confidence, where you have to be confident in the person that God has designed you to be. You have to be confident in the gifting that is given you. Understand that He has a plan to prosper you, amen, and not to harm you, to give you hope in a future. When you believe in that, and when you believe that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and He is ordering your steps and directing your path, and He's working all things together for the good of those who love Him and have been called according to His purpose, when you believe that, when you are grounded in that, then your confidence can rise simply because you know that you're a child of the King, and He has created you for who you are supposed to be. And then you don't have to worry about, well, so-and-so is a little further ahead of me. This person covers a lot of the topics I was planning on cover. How do I compete with them? You don't have to worry about that, because their audience is their audience and your audience is yours, all right? I didn't mean to preach at you this morning, but that's what I want to get that out to you, okay? So Triggers are important. Triggers are important. You know what comes out? It just bubbles over. It just comes out. Okay. Your triggers are important. It's two things that you've got to have established this morning. All right, before we can go into the conversation about creating an engaging content map. All right, so you need a list. So if you didn't do the work yesterday, do it right now. I want you to think about what are the emotional pain points that your audience has. If you don't have a list in front of you of those emotional pain points, start writing them down. Think about your audience. What are you selling them? What do they need help with? What are their pain points? I've got a list of from my own audience. So I, as an example, I said, you know what? Let's say I want to focus on content strategy and sales. Great morning to you, Rebecca. Content strategy and sales. That's really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how to become really good with your content strategy and how to generate more sales. That's what we're talking about. The people that need this are content creators who need help with marketing and selling their signature programs and offers. And so if I know who I'm talking to and what I want to help them with, then I need to think to myself, what are their emotional frustrations? And we talked through frustration, overwhelm, irritation, lack of belief, doubt, exhaustion, fear, confusion, burnout, discouragement, lack of results. Majority of those you guys gave me in the live broadcast yesterday. So these are things coming straight out of you, Justin. This is what we're feeling with. This is what we're dealing with right now. So I know that that's what my audience is dealing with. And then when I think about my emotional triggers, I want to establish clarity. I want to establish vision, and I want to establish confidence. Because I know if I can establish any of those, if not all of those will offset every one of those negative emotions that you're feeling. And what happens when you felt a certain kind of way, when you felt frustrated, burned out, discouraged, overwhelmed, and then something happens that erases those negative emotions, and all of a sudden you're reinvigorated and you have a new vision and you're clear or you're confident. What happens as soon as you shift out of that negative mindset and you shift into a positive one, and all of a sudden you have a vision for what you can be and where you can go, and you're clear on what steps you need to take, and you're confident that this is really possible for you, what happens? You want to move forward. Where do I go from here? I haven't felt this way in a long time. You feel hope, Bonnie, a great statement. You feel hope that, you know what, I think this is really possible for me. Where do I go from here? All right, so that it's important to recognize that's all it takes to inspire action. So would somebody put that in the chat stream for me, please? And those guys that are watching on YouTube, drop it in the comments. I want to understand that you. I want you to understand that's the key. That's the key to get people to take action on your message. Is you have got to inspire hope. You have got to eliminate. You got to eliminate their negative emotions with their positive triggers. And if you are struggling to get people to take action with your content, it's because you have not inspired the right feeling, or you have not inspired enough of the feeling. There's not enough. You're not implanting enough of your positive triggers to offset the negative emotions they're feeling. If they're not taking a step towards you, it's because they're still feeling something that has not been addressed yet. We have got to understand that, okay? So, going into point number 6 today. Point number 6, once again, I'm going to recap it for you. Number 6 is to create an engaging content map, all right? So, how do you do this? What we do is, once I've got an idea of who my people are, and I've got this list of emotional pain points, what we want to do at this point now is we want to ask ourselves, what kind of content can I share that's going to engage the people that need what I'm leading them to. All right. So, I gave you guys the example. I have a Monetize Your Mind program. Monetize Your Mind is a spectacular workshop that teaches people how to take the information in their brain and process it, structure it, and build a business from it. All right, so let's say I'm trying to lead people to monetize your mind, because I believe monetize your mind will absolutely change your world if you've never figured out what your superpower is, how to leverage it and build a business from it. So if I know I'm going to lead people to monetize your mind, but they're sitting here in this stage where they're frustrated, overwhelmed, beat down, burnout, they're dealing with all the things, I want to get them from point A to point B. All right, so to create an engaging content map, this is the first thing I need to do. I say, all right, in general, I got to look at my audience and I got to ask myself, what types of people do I want to talk to? All right. So this is a thick conversation and I want to break it down as simple as possible. So I'm going to recap slightly. All right. I've talked to you all this week about how every single business owner has a niche and every single business owner has a target audience. So my niche is I am a startup business mentor and a branding strategist, and I specialize in helping startup entrepreneurs turn your passion into a profitable and sustainable brand. All right, that's what I do. I focus on startup business development. I coach people. I do branding. That's what I do. That's my niche. That's my lane. My target audience is I work with goal-driven individuals who have a very specific gifting that serves a very specific type of clientele and have a desire to build a business from it. I work with you. All you guys that are in here, you guys are goal-driven individuals. You have a very specific gifting that serves a very specific type of clientele, and you have a desire to build a business from it. You are who I work with. But so every one of y'all that are watching this broadcast, you fit the person that I specialize and work with. However, every one of you are in a different season. Some of you guys are not lacking clarity at all today. You may just be lacking confidence. Some of you guys are completely lacking clarity. Some of you guys have just been doing it for so long you're burned out, right? So every one of y'all have different things going on. Every one of you have different seasons that you're going in. Some of you guys also have different life stories. Some of you guys are brand new. So while every one of you guys that are watching this broadcast all may fall into my audience type of you are a goal-driven individual with a very specific gifting that serves a very specific type of clientele and have a desire to build a business from it. While all of you meet that criteria, some of you guys may be straight out of college. You just got a degree and realize there's no openings for you in the workplace, and you have all this knowledge and you want to build your own business, and so you're looking to start a brand and a business from scratch in your early 20s. Some guys may be stay-at-home moms, or maybe your husband is the primary income earner in your home, but you've always been programmed for business and your mind works that way, and you want to build a business while working from home. So maybe you're a stay-at-home mom that wants to build a business while working from home. Then maybe some of you guys are in your 40s or 50s, and maybe you've worked a certain type of career your entire life, and you're ready to actually do something with that idea that you have. You're ready to do something with that gifting that you have. You've been reinvigorated. Maybe there's another group, you may have recently lost your job. So maybe you lost your job because of coronavirus. Now you're forced into a position to have to learn how to make money from home. So again, while all of you fit my criteria of being a goal-driven individual with a very specific gifting that serves a very specific type of clientele and want to build a business from it, each one of you may have a different story. So it's important to understand that with your audience, and it's important to jot those few things down. So what I do is I jot down a few things down, and I say, all right, I got this type of person. I got this type of person, this type of person, this type of person. Who do I want to speak to this week? Who do I want to speak to today, right? What kind of emotions do I want to tackle, and what kind of content do I need to create that's going to speak directly to that type of person and help offset the negative emotions? So it's a cocktail. It's a cocktail of who am I talking to, what are their emotional pain points, and what emotional triggers do I need to offset? You got to get all those three things working together in one good piece of content. Now, again, I want you to get this. Aaron, what's up, brother? Thanks for coming in, man. I want you to get this, y'all, that every single time I do a broadcast, every single time I create a piece of content, my mission with that broadcast or with that content is not to speak to everyone. I'm not trying to speak to my entire target audience. I'm trying to speak, when I'm creating content, I'm creating content for a very specific type of person because I want to make an impact on that particular person. So I focus on them first. Then the next day I may focus on, let me go to this person. So for example, again, we're talking about point number 6 is how to create an engaging content map. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm leading people to. All right, I know what I'm trying to get them to. I know where they're at now. How do I get them from point A to point B? Is I got to create content that speaks to their emotional pain points, meets them where they are, and gives them an inspiration to take a step towards where I'm trying to lead them to. So for example, this would be some examples, all right? So let's say I want to speak today. Let's create a 5-day map, shall we? So let's create a full week of content. So I'm going to do day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's do a 5-day content map. All right. So day 1. day one, let's say I wanna come up with something. Usually the day one's beginning of the week. It's a Monday. So I want to create content that's inspiring, that's motivating, that ignites vision, because people are in a mood on Monday, generally. So I got to come up with something that's good, not too thick, nothing negative whatsoever. It's got to be positive. It's got to be exciting. It's got to be vision building. It's got to be good. So day one, let's say day one, I come up with a broadcast that says, let me go with like 8. Let me say this could be day one. Day one, 8 powerful ways, or 8 simple but effective ways. No, I don't know, effective. Maybe I'd say 8 simple. How would I say this? Maybe I'd say 8. I don't know about 8. Now I got all these ideas. All right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say 5 simple but lucrative business concepts that you could start from home right now with zero cash flow. Or 5 ways that you can make 5 ways anyone can make money from home right now, starting from scratch. Something like that. Right? So basically that broadcast is going to be a vision broadcast. I want to give you ideas for what's possible for you. I'm going to teach you how to generate income. Maybe I'm going to give you one angle from how to build a fee-based community, to how to create a series of mini courses, to how to become a paid motivational speaker, to how to be an affiliate marketer, to how to be a network marketer. Whatever. I can go through a variety of different ways, and what I'm doing is casting vision, and I'm throwing lures out in the water to talk to those people that, again, are wanting to learn how to make money, but they're not sure where to start. So if I do that broadcast, 8 powerful, simple but powerful ways you can generate income from home starting from zero, or with zero money, zero cash flow, something like that. That's going to speak to the college kid that just got out of college. That's going to speak to the stay-at-home mom that's working from home wanting to build a business. That's going to speak to the older person that's maybe retired or has just been working a career that they are ready to be done with and want to build their own business. So what that's going to do is that's going to attract the type of person that I need. And I want you to get this, is that while I may be trying to lead people to monetize your mind, I'm not going to create content about monetize your mind. This is where people get this wrong. People will, you maybe have a course that you've created, or you have a new program that you're launching, or you have something that you're excited about selling. So you're like, all right, I want to do this. This is launch week. I'm going to do launch week. And so you create content that talks about that and talks about what you're selling and tries to expand upon what you're selling and explain what you're selling and communicate what you're selling. The thing is you got a huge audience of people that don't realize they need what you're selling yet. All right? Sometimes people don't know they need your solution until you can show them how or why they need your solution. So your content can't be about you. Your content is about them. So I'm not creating content about monetize your mind to lead them to monetize your mind. I'm creating content about where they're at right now, and I'm working to attract the people that I know need monetize your mind, because they're not ready to hear about my program yet. They don't even know my program exists. And if all I do is come straight out of the gate and say, hey, I got this program that I think would be great for you, at that point in time, I haven't built any rapport. I haven't established any respect. They don't even know who I am. They're not ready to look at a program right yet. And I haven't worked through clarity, vision, and confidence to make sure that they're ready to hear about that program. So when I'm creating content, I'm not creating content to highlight what I'm selling. I'm creating content to attract the person that I believe needs what I'm selling. Do y'all get that? I'm gonna say that again. I'm not creating content to highlight what I'm selling. I'm creating content to attract the specific individuals that I believe need what I'm selling. That's the difference. It's all about them. Your content is all about them. Okay? So that first idea, day one, I could create a broadcast about 8 simple but powerful ways that you can generate income home starting from zero cash flow. That's day number 1. That's going to attract some people. Day number 2. Let me go a different angle. Let me go after the people that are worried about succeeding. They're not sure that this is possible for them. They're not sure whether they could really make it. They've tried all the things. They're doing all the things. I love it, Kat. Great morning to you, my friend. Thanks for coming in. So maybe I'm going to go after the doubter on Tuesday. So I'm going to go after the doubter or the person that's fearful or insecure. They're not sure this could work for them. So on Tuesday, I want to build some confidence. All right. So on Monday, I ignited vision with some ideas. Tuesday, let me build up some confidence. So Tuesday, let me create a broadcast on Tuesday that would be 8 pro tips for starting a brand new business. What many don't do, or what most, maybe we'll say, what many don't know and what most don't do. That's a great broadcast title. So I would say 8 pro tips for starting a brand new business. What many don't know and what most don't do. And in that broadcast, I'm going to tell you some fundamentals. I'm going to give you some specific tips on what can help you be successful quickly. I'm going to help you overcome some hurdles that you would have otherwise had to wrestle through because you didn't know. I'm going to give you some quick growth tips. I'm going to give people some ideas for how they could get started right now, what they can do right now, what steps they could take to get momentum rolling early, how they can get some balls rolling and let them roll, how they can multi-purpose some options, how they can do some things to really get that business going and really start taking themselves seriously. So that Tuesday broadcast is going to be a confidence builder one. That's also vision, because I don't have to wait. I could actually get started. I could actually do this right now. There's things that I could do right now. Right? So that's a confidence building broadcast. You see what I'm doing? Is every broadcast that I'm creating, I have a specific type of person in mind. I know exactly what emotions I'm trying to offset, and I know exactly what triggers I'm trying to establish. So day 2, I'm working on building confidence and really feeding the vision piece a little bit, all right? Then day 3. Day 3, maybe we need to tackle the clarity thing. I need to give them some clarity. All right, so clarity, maybe we say something like maybe Wednesday. Again, I'm thinking about not necessarily a specific group of people that I want to talk to, but I want to talk about emotions. I want to deal with emotions. So let me deal with the people that are I'm just deal with the people that are lacking clarity. They're overwhelmed. All this seems exciting, but I don't know where to start. I'm lacking clarity. I'm overwhelmed. I still don't know sure this is possible for me. I'm doubting whether I should really do this or not. All right, so I need to give them some clarity. I need to give them some steps. All right, so Wednesday, let's do 90-day game plan. How to set and crush goals for your brand new business in your first 90 days. And I'll walk them through a step-by-step process of setting, establishing goals that they'll actually crush in their first 90 days. I'll give some goal setting statistics. I'll talk about the importance of goals, why they're necessary, why they're powerful, why most people fail at setting goals, and then I'll challenge them with a process to set their own goals, set their own expectations, establish their own vision, and be prepared to go and crush those over the next 90 days. Now this is where I start dropping in some CTA, some call to actions. So on that 90-day goal setting piece, I'll give them a challenge. I'll say, all right, y'all, listen, I've talked this week on Monday about ideas for how you can generate income from home from scratch. On Tuesday, I talked about, what did I talk about Tuesday? Tuesday, we talked about confidence. We talked about, I can't remember what I said. I think I said it. No. What did I say? So Monday was ideas for generating a business. Tuesday was what many people don't know, what most don't do, or something like that. All right, so tips for starting a new business, okay? Wednesday is goal setting. So now if I'm going to establish goal setting, so on Wednesday, I'm giving you guys some good stuff. Be like, all right, this is what I want you to do. I will do a training on goal setting and be like, this is what I want you to do. I'll get done with that broadcast. And thank you, Navik. I'll see you later, buddy. So I'll do the broadcast on Wednesday, goal setting broadcast, and be like, guys, if this is helpful for you, I'm going to give you a challenge. And they'll say, how many of y'all are up for a challenge? Oh, let me just ask you this right now. How many guys are up for a challenge? How many guys are up for a 90-day goal-setting challenge? Put me in the chat stream if you're up for a 90-day goal-setting challenge. That's what I would say. And you can, if you want to do this, you can do this. That's what I'm going to challenge you to do. If you are up for a 90-day goal-setting challenge, where you are ready for a reset, you're ready for a realigning of your focus, you're ready to make some big moves in the next 90 days, then this is what I want you to do. I want you to go to my website, justincaptainpro.com, click on free resources, and there's a document there called the 2020 Goal Crusher. I want you to download my Goal Crusher. That goal crusher is not a baby little document. That's a straight up challenging document. All right. But I think a lot of people could use a resetting of their goals right now. So while usually I challenge people to take that to get that goal crusher at the beginning of the year, I think right now for some of y'all, July needs to be the beginning of the year for you. It needs to be a reset of the year for you. So this is going to be my challenge, and this is what I would do if I was doing a Wednesday broadcast on goal setting. Is I would say, all right, this is what I want you to do. Your challenge is this. I want you to go to my website, JustinCapandPro.com, go to free resources. Click on my 2020 Goal Crusher, download it. I want you to work on that Goal Crusher. It's not easy. It's not something that you can blow through in an hour. It's a challenging document, but it's challenging because it makes you think. It's not a mamby-pamby-patsy little goal-setting little worksheet that, oh yeah, this is my vision board, this is what I'm going to do, but in all reality, I don't have any idea what I'm really doing, and I have no idea how I'm going to take steps forward, but these all sound nice, and hopefully they accomplish them. Now, this thing is going to challenge you to put some stuff down on paper. It's going to force you to be honest with yourself. It's going to force you to break them down into step-by-step process so you know what you need to be doing each day and each week. It is a goal crusher. All right, so that's challenge number 1, is to work on that goal crusher. Once you get that, I'm going to tell you, once you get that goal crusher as complete as possible, because there will be some things that you get stuck on. It's a given. Once you get, there's going to be some things that you're going to get stuck on. It's going to happen. I want you to get that goal crusher as complete as possible. I want you to go as far as you can on that thing as possible. Answer everything you can. And once you're done, I want you to shoot me a message. You can message me through Facebook. You can email me, JustinCapandPro@gmail.com. I want you to message me, Justin, I got the Goal Crusher done. I'm ready for you to talk me through this. And I will do a free strategy call with you. Free. I'll do a free strategy call with you. I will talk to you about that Goal Crusher. I'm gonna have you share with me what you came up with, and I will help you establish a realistic plan for exactly what you need to be doing and how you need to be doing it over the next 90 days to crush those goals that you put in that Goal Crusher. That's a challenge for you. Now, what's funny is I got a whole bunch of people. When I'm broadcasting live on 5 different networks, I got 47 people watching me on 5 different networks right now. I got anywhere from 25 to 30 me's when I said, are you up for a challenge? I'm going to say less than 2% of you will actually do that challenge. That's statistical fact. I wonder which side of the statistic you're going to be on. Are you going to be the 2% that actually does what you said you were going to do? Or are you going to be the one that puts it off? Oh, that sounds a lot of work. I thought you were going to give me the quick version to success today. Can't you just tell me how to do one post and get people to go to my website without any interaction, just pay for what I'm trying to sell them? Don't you have a quicker way to 5 figures? That sounds nice, right? Do you have this or do you have that? Can you do this or can you do that? So I just wonder what side of the fence you're going to be on. Are you going to be the 2% or are you going to be the 98% that never follow through on anything? I just wonder how much of your first 6 months you could have actually kept on rolling, but you allowed all the excuses of the economy and everything else to prevent you from following through on the things that you could have if you had just maintained focus. So I'm going to give you a straight up challenge. Now, you'll notice, I'm being a certain kind of way right now, okay? But this is the thing. I'm on day, if I go back to my content map, again, because this whole point again today, what we're talking about is we're talking about how to create an engaging content map. If your content is always just fluffy and mamby-pamby, you'll never get people taking steps towards you. You'll never get people taking steps towards you. You've got to challenge people. People are looking for someone who is going to move them beyond their current state. So while I told you on my Monday broadcast, I got to be careful with the emotional tone of my broadcast because they're fresh out of the weekend. Most people hate Mondays. Well, most people hate Mondays because they leave themselves a mess on Friday and then they show up on Monday with a mess they left for themselves. And that's why they hate Mondays, because they start Mondays looking backward rather than forward. Right? That's part of your problem. But the other part of the problem is they have no vision. They're not excited about what they're supposed to be doing. They're not excited about their new week, their new goals, what they're trying to accomplish this week. Most people hate Mondays. So I got to be careful about the tone I set on Mondays because I need to realize that people are in kind of a fragile emotional state of mind. I need to be inspiring and creative and exciting and get you in a good mood. All right. And then Tuesday, I'm going to be helpful. I'm going to give you some points. I'm going to give you some help. I'm going to give you some clarity, give you some ideas, help build up your confidence a little bit. Now I'm going to take you into Wednesday. And I'm going to say, all right, now it's time to move your feet. Because you've been waiting and mamby-pambying and all the things for so long, all right? So now I'm going to give you a straight-up challenge, and I'm going to call you on your bull. Because some people need that. Now, you know what's funny? Not everybody, that doesn't work with everybody, all right? But this is what I know. I work with goal-driven individuals who have a very specific gifting that serves a very specific type of clientele and wants to build a business from it. I don't work with people who want me to work harder on their business than they will. I don't work with people who love to make excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. I don't work with people who are lazy. I don't work with people who are uninspired. I work with people who are ready to make moves, do the work, and follow the direction that I give to them, because I know if I have that type of person, I will see them soar. But if you try to connect to me and you try to get me to help you when you're still in the mood to entertain your own excuses, you're not ready to work with me, nor am I ready to work with you. So I have to rattle the cage a little bit at some point in there to shake off the ones that are just going to simply drain my energy and waste my time. Does that make sense? Very true. All right, so Wednesday, I'm going to go more challenging. I'm going to give you helpful content. Again, we're still talking about how to create an engaging content map. And you can see that every single thing that I'm doing throughout this week is taking a particular type of person in mind, as well as a type of emotion in mind. And I know exactly what triggers I'm implementing and what emotions I'm offsetting. I've got inspiration's necessary. Clarity is necessary, motivation is necessary, all these things are necessary, but also sometimes I need to go to belief system, I need to go to behaviors and habits, I need to go to procrastination, doubt and unbelief. I need to tackle those things too, because I've got to get you out of your own way. In some cases, and a lot of cases, because I have a lot of clients that I'm their coach because of these conversations, sometimes people just need straight talk conversation. Sometimes people need you to call them out and be like, how long are you going to continue to wait? How long are you going to continue to sit on this? How long are you going to entertain those negative thoughts? How long are you going to continue to doubt what's possible for you and sit in unbelief? Like, you know, one of the things that I say often, I'll say this again, or think about this for yourself. Ask yourself, you know, in 12 months from now, let's look forward to 12 months from now to let's say July 1st, 2021. 12 months from now. How many of you guys would say that your goal 12 months from now is to be exactly where you are today? Same friendships, same bank account balance, same insecurities, same frustrations, same struggles, same connections, same impact, same position in the market. How many of y'all want to be the same? Not me. Not a chance. Like, how many of y'all want to go places in the next 12 months? How many of y'all want to do more, acquire more, impact more, influence more, learn more, be more, do more? I want more. I think all of us do. I think if there's anybody in there that's like, yeah, I'd be comfortable being in the same place next year, you're in the wrong broadcast. You need to go watch some TikTok videos or something. you got something else to do. You're in the wrong broadcast. Like, how many, actually, you're in the right broadcast. But how many want to do more? Like, you want to be more than you currently are. So the only thing that stands between where you are now and where you want to go is the action that you take, the difference. Les Brown says to do something you've never done, you have to become someone you've never been. You have to sacrifice who you've been in the past to give birth to who you want to become in your future. You have to become the person that your goals require. All right? So that day 3, I'm going to challenge you. I need to challenge you to do more, be more, become more than you've ever been. So I gotta push you out of your nest a little bit. So I need to challenge you in some way. All right. Now I go into day 4. So day 1, I inspired with ideas and a casted vision. Day 2, I worked on clarity and give you fundamentals. Day 3, I challenge you to take action and give you resources to help you do so. So day 4, What do I need to do on day 4? Day 4, maybe I answer questions. All right. So because I know when people are trying to start a business, there's lots of questions. So maybe I do day 4. Maybe I do a live Q&A. A live Q&A where let me take all your questions you have about starting a new business. These are the most top 10 questions I get about a business and the answers that you need to know. And then I do a live Q&A where I answer anybody's questions. So that one is I want to basically tackle any objection that you may have about starting a business or break out any issue that you may have about trying to start a business. So day 4 is I'm going to try to eliminate objections. And then day 5 is I'm going to do something high value. The number one thing that is standing in your way from being successful, or the number one thing that I've learned over 5 years of being in business that is essential to attracting paying clients. That day 5, I'm going to do something really, really high value, something that people should be paying for, but I'm going to give it away for free. So that day 5 is going to be something high value, because what I want to do is I want to get people to the point by Friday where they're like, that was so good. And this is the thing. And I'm going to talk about this in my point number 2. But that day 5, basically that's an engaging content, man. I mean, would you guys agree with that? If you're in a position, which some of you guys are, if you are in a position where you are thinking about starting a new business, if I did a full 1-hour broadcast about ideas and how you can generate income from home from scratch, day 2 I talked about fundamentals, specific things that you need to know about starting a new business, what many people don't know and what most don't do. Wednesday, I give you a specific challenge on goal setting and ideas and specifically what you need to do. So you hang up that broadcast on Wednesday, you're able to sit down, download my Goal Crusher from my website, and now you can go through and actually set goals. And so by the time you get done with Wednesday or Thursday, you've got goals mapped out. Now I go in, but you also got questions. So now Thursday, I'm going to answer your questions. And then Friday, I give you a golden nugget, something super valuable that's going to help you in your journey to start your business. Right? So that's high value content. After 5 days, you've had an experience with me, which is point number 7. All right, point number 7 in my 8-step client conversion formula is you need to give your audience an experience. Somebody put that in the chat stream for me, will you please? Give them an experience. I want you guys to every one of y'all to put that in the chat stream. Even those guys that are watching the replay, if you're on YouTube, type it in the comments. I want to know that you get this because this is so important. We've got to figure out how to give every person that pays us their time and attention an experience. And this is why, all right? This is important. The reason why you need to focus on giving your audience an experience every single time you interact with them is because statistically it takes an average of 5 to 7 brand impressions before someone is usually willing to commit to a next step with you. I'm going to say that again. It takes an average of 5 to 7 positive brand impressions before someone is usually willing to commit to a next step with you. And that doesn't even mean they're ready to pay you yet. Just simply means that they've gotten to a point where they're ready to take a next step to you. All right? So what does that mean? 5 to 7 positive brand experiences are just positive experiences with you. Positive interactions with you. So this broadcast would be one experience. You had one experience with me. All right? So I know that if somebody's watching me today for the first time, this is your first experience. So I know this is the problem. Let me just call this out. There's a whole bunch of people. A lot of you may be watching this broadcast. A whole bunch of people think that you just go out and drop content online. And as soon as I drop my content online, that people should be going to my website, visiting my blog, downloading my stuff, and hiring me for my services because I put my content out there. Content is like 10% of the process. Basically, when you do social media content, it's turning your open sign on and basically showing people that you're open for business. That's what you're doing. Just because, like, if you have a local brick and mortar business, just because you flipped on the open sign doesn't mean people are going to roll right in and hire you or buy whatever it is you're selling. Just means that you're open, right? There's gonna have to be something else that's going to draw them in to pull out their credit card and come up to the cash register. All right. So positive brand impressions is about experiences. You've got to figure out what your method is for once you engage people with content. What are you going to do subsequently to give them an experience? So, for example, On my Wednesday, I challenge you to take a specific action, telling you to go to my website, download my free resource, and do that work. Once you do that, send it to me, and I'm going to give you a phone call, right? That sets up experiences with me. So if you're watching the broadcast, that is one experience. All right. So then once you're done, you take the challenge, you go to my website, you land on my website. Cool website. I like how this looks, I like how it feels. It's easy. This is nice. Now you got a great experience. Now you're feeling like Justin's a real business owner. This seems legit. Like his website, like what he's doing here. This is awesome. You got a lot of great information on there. So now I'm up to 2 brand impressions. I've got a second impression that I've just made with you. All right, then the third one is you download that PDF. It was easy. You don't have all the stuff going on. Name, email, got the document, open that up. Here's my goal crusher. Geez, this thing is thick. This thing is helpful. This is process. This is step by step by step. This is exactly what I need. You've got a great free resource for me. Now I'm at 3 positive impressions. I've made 3 positive impressions on you. So you're working through that. You're doing that. I get notification that you downloaded my thing. So 48 hours after you download that, I shoot you a message. Hey, Tracy. Girl, listen, I saw that you downloaded my Goal Crusher yesterday. So appreciate you getting a hold of that thing. I'm excited that you took my challenge. Now I'm going to challenge you today. Have you opened it and have you started working on it yet? I'd love to know. Let me know how you're progressing. Have a beautiful day. And then Tracy's like, geez, Justin, how do you read my mail? You know that I downloaded that thing, but it's still sitting on my desk and I haven't opened it yet. I know that because I understand how human behavior is, and I know that most of us like to procrastinate on stuff. So I'm challenging you right now not to be that person. I'm challenging you to be the 2% that opens that thing and actually gets to work on it. So here's your straight challenge. Now I'm at 4 impressions because not only did he give me a free resource, but he thought about me with all the things he's got going on. He thought enough to follow up on me and challenge me to actually do the work. Love this guy. And now I'm starting to think of me as Coach Justin, because he's actually investing time and energy in me. It is under free resources. Yes, it is. Absolutely, the voice. If now he's challenging me, now he's checking in on me to see how I'm actually doing. That's awesome. And now so I'm starting to transition into coach into mine. So now I'm at 4. All right, 4 impressions. So now they're doing the work. They do the work. They check in with me again. Justin, I got my Goal Crusher done. Awesome. I have an availability tomorrow afternoon at noon. Is that a good time to chat with you? Absolutely awesome. That might count as an impression. Maybe. Good communication. A good communication, follow up, all that stuff. I think that's an impression. Now I'm at the 5. All right. So now I get on a phone call with them the next day. So the phone call, I already know statistically it takes an average of 5 to 7 positive brand impressions before someone is usually willing to take a next step with you. So I've already accomplished 5 before I'm even on the phone. So I know before I even get on the phone with that person, their buying temperature is already coming up, right? Their buying temperature is already coming up. So once I get on the phone, now it's just a matter of just talking them through what they're doing, giving them insight, giving them clarity, giving them vision, giving them confidence. And I'll tell you this, because I got a whole bunch of people that would confirm this. I am not a salesman. I don't sell stuff for a living. Would you guys give me an agree if you agree to that? Those guys that are my clients, people who have talked to me, I am not a salesman. I do not sell stuff for a living. I serve people for a living. I don't pressure cook anybody. I serve you. My mission is to serve because I believe wholeheartedly if you serve effectively, the sale happens naturally. If you serve effectively, the sale happens naturally. Write that down if you're taking notes. I'd love for you to write that down. If you serve effectively, the sale happens naturally. You should not have to convince someone to buy what you're selling. If you serve them effectively and you give them all the information that they need to make an educated decision, they'll choose to hire you on their own. And that's how you eliminate buyer's remorse. That's how you eliminate bad clients. That's how you eliminate people that exhaust you and your time and energy, because people need to come to their own decision that they need to hire you. So when I get on the phone with someone, my mission is not to close you. My mission is to give you clarity, vision, and confidence. I want to get you crystal clear on exactly what you can do. I want to help you establish vision, and I want to give you confidence in what's possible for you. Now, what questions do you have? And then they ask me questions, and I answer those questions, and I say, what other questions do you have? And most of the time, people get to the end of that phone call and say, The only other questions I have is, how do I hire you? Like, how can we work together? This is what I would recommend, and I'll give them a recommendation. Yeah, I can spend an hour on the phone with you. If I spend an hour on the phone with you, and at the end of that conversation, you do not ask how you can hire me, I will not bring up my pricing or services unless you ask me to. That's a commitment that I have to every phone call that I make. I will not bring up my pricing or my services unless you ask me to. So if I spend an hour pouring my time and energy and information into you to get to the end, you're like, Justin, this is so helpful. Thank you so much. I so appreciate your time. I say it's my pleasure. Keep me in the loop of what you're doing. If you have any other questions or need any additional help, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. It's my pleasure to serve. And I hope you have a beautiful day. And like, thanks so much. And I hang up. I do not bring up my pricing or services unless you ask me to. Now, let's pause here for just a second because I still have some stuff I wanna cover. Take a breath. Take a drink of water, take a drink of your coffee for a second because I have a client I'm supposed to get on the phone with in 4 minutes, and I want to finish this thing. So I'm going to write this person and letting them know broadcast is running a bit long. I'll let you know as soon as I'm ready. Long, as soon as it's ready. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. So that's an engaging content map. We've talked about point number 7. Give them an experience. So again, with the experiences, jot that down if you're taking notes. It takes an average of 5 to 7 positive experiences with you before someone is usually willing to commit to a next step. This is reason number 2. Why most people struggle to get people to buy what they're selling. Reason number 1 is because they have not engaged the right emotions. Reason number 1, so if you're taking notes on the reasons why you can't sell stuff, reason number 1 is because you're not engaging the right emotions and you're not out creating enough offset with your positive triggers. That's reason number 1. If you get past that, reason number 2 why you can't get people to buy your product or service is because you're not creating enough brand impressions. You're not giving them enough experiences with you for them to get to a buying decision. Or you may be accomplishing impressions and experiences, but it's taking too long to do so. All right? Remember this, is that every single time you have an experience with one of your audience members, every time they have an experience with you, their buying temperature creeps up. But as soon as buying temperature creeps up and the experience is over, the buying temperature starts to fall. All right? So it's falling. Now I give them another experience. Oh, buying temperature's back up because they have another experience. But then the buying temperature starts to fall again. Then they have another experience. Now the buying temperature's up, and then it drops some more. Anytime experiences are not happening, buying temperature is falling. All right? This is so important. Y'all should be going to paypal.me/JustinCaptainPro and giving me a tip right now for this content because I'm teaching you how to make money online. Okay? Listen, buying temperature is the thing, and impressions are the key. You've got to make impressions. So the question is, how long does it take for you to create impressions? Because people are like, Justin, I'm doing what you're doing. I'm doing lives, and I'm sending them to my website, and I'm following up, and I'm doing all those things. Okay, but how long in between? Too far. How long in between? Because if you do a live video on Monday, and you build up someone's buying temperature, and then they don't see you again for the week, their buying temperature is back to scratch. So when you do another live next week, their buying temperature is not creeping up from last week. Their buying temperature is back to 0. You're not at brand impression number 2. You're back to number 1. The problem is a whole bunch of y'all are stuck on just doing one brand impression every once in a while. If somebody goes and downloads something from you and then they don't hear from you for a week, you've lost the buying temperature. All right, so what I'm telling you, I had 4 or 5 people yesterday that were live in my broadcast. They were very interactive, right? So I know I'm at interaction, right? I'm at interaction number 1. I'm at experience number 1. Experience number 1. As soon as that's over, I looked those 5 people up to make sure we were friends on Facebook. 4 of the 5 we were not, so I sent 4 of them friend requests right after my broadcast was over. Friend requests on Facebook. We sent them friend requests. all of them accepted almost immediately, accepted all 4 of a friend requests. So I go as soon as they accept the friend request, I go into Facebook Messenger, I look up the person, and I send them a voice recording. Hey, so-and-so, Justin Captain Pro here. Listen, I just want to let you know that I appreciate you. Loved having you in my broadcast this morning. It means so much to me that you, people like yourself, come in and contribute positively to the conversation. Adds a lot to me as a broadcaster having you in there. So I just want to let you know I appreciate you. Thank you so much for accepting my friend request. I'm excited to be connected. I hope you have a beautiful day. Take care. God bless. And I'll see you around the web. And I sent him a voice message. I sent 4 of those yesterday to 4 brand new people. And I get 4 messages back. Justin, thank you so much for the note. I so appreciate it. That's a brand impression. All right. So then 2 of them, I continued dialogue because 2 of them were like, thank you so much. The content today was so helpful. I really need this conversation this week. And then the conversation was similar. So I respond back and be like, what did you find the most helpful? Or what do you think it is that you're struggling with most? And then both of them gave me ideas for what they're struggling with most. Both of them told me things that the things that they're struggling with, I have a resource for. And so I'm like, you know what? I have a resource for that. Can I get your email? I'll shoot it to you to make it real easy. Yep, absolutely. So I got 2 emails, and 2 of them I sent documents to. Both of those people I will follow up with today to check in with them, see how they're doing with it, to find it helpful. So 4 brand new people from yesterday's broadcast. One experience. Second experience was I got a friend request and a personal voice message from Justin. Third experience was they got a free document sent right to their email inbox. Today I'm going to be on 4th impression, which is going to be a follow-up on them. So now I'm on follow-up. Neither of them are in this live broadcast right now, so I'm going to challenge them to watch this broadcast. So this broadcast is going to be my 5th impression. Then I'm going to send another message probably tomorrow asking them what they felt about this week's content and what other questions that they have. So I'm going to be at 6 tomorrow. Within 48 hours, I've accomplished 6 impressions. That's how I convert paying clients. Social media interactions into paying clients. How do I turn one live broadcast into a premium client that'll pay me $5,000 within 48 hours? My quickest turnaround is I had one person that saw me on 2 broadcasts. I accomplished 7 impressions in 48 hours, and they paid me $10,000 within 48 hours. And 48 hours ago, they didn't know me. That's because impressions are powerful. All right? Impressions are powerful. Now, last one I'm going to give you, number 8, and then I'm going to get you out of here. Point number 8 is to provide your audience member with an irresistible next step. Provide your audience member with an irresistible next step. Now, what that really boils down to is you've got to know what you have available. You've got to know what you can lead them to. You've got to know what you have that will absolutely change their world. So once you are able to accomplish 5 to 7 positive brand impressions, once you get in that 5 to 7 range, you've got to know what their next step is if they ask. Now, my irresistible next step is always a recommendation. And it's a sincere and genuine one. Right? Every single person that I have in this live broadcast right now that has hired me has gotten to the point where I've accomplished 5 to 7 impressions. And then they got on the phone with me. We had a discussion. We talked about what they needed. We talked about where they're at. We talked about where they're trying to go. And then I tell them, can I make a recommendation? You're like, yeah, this is what I would do if I was you. And I would tell them point blank exactly what I believe they need to do and how they need to do it. And then they say to me, that's crazy. How do I work with you? This is what we can do. And I make them, I give them an irresistible next step. Basically, I tell them, based upon where you're at, based upon where you need to go, this is what I would do. This is how we would do it. This is what I would recommend. And this is what I could offer you. And I'll make them an offer. And every single time I make an offer, it's custom, tailored to the person that I'm talking to. And it's always irresistible. And it always has a short time frame attached to it. I never, ever make an offer that's open-ended. Ever. You have a window. You have a period. I'll give you 3 days to think about this. I'm going to give you 20% off for 48 hours. I'm going to give you a free bonus here. I'll give them something that's irresistible because I need to challenge their ability to procrastinate because human nature generally pulls back. Generally, I need some time to think about it. I need some time to wait. And again, you need to know, every single time you accomplish impressions, buying temperature comes up. Once an experience is over, the buying temperature is starting to fall. This is why I don't have the statistics in front of me, but they talk about the close rate percentage hours and days after a conversation. If you can close someone within like 12 hours of your conversation, you got like an 80% close rate. If it goes 24 hours, it drops to like 60%. If it goes 48 hours, it drops to like 30. And if you're past 72 hours after a conversation, your close likelihood is like 15%. It's because buying temperature drops. All right. So whenever I make an irresistible recommendation, that recommendation is always timely, and it's always this is a limited offer, and you got to make a decision, because I don't want to give them a week. I don't want to give them 2 weeks, because I know buying temperature is going to fall if I give that thing time to sit and marinate. All right, so that's your point number 8. All right, guys, I got to get to my call, so I'm going to leave you with that for today. Again, I'm going to remind you, I'm going to give you another chance. So 2 challenges that I've given you for today from this broadcast. The first of which is go to my website, JustinCapandPro.com. If I could get some of my peeps to drop that in the chat stream, I'd very appreciate it. My website is also right down here at the bottom, JustinCapandPro.com. If you're trying to figure out how to type my name, JustinCapandPro.com. Click on free resources. I got a variety of free resources in there, but the one I'm challenging you to do is my 2020 Goal Crusher. That is a powerful process that I highly encourage you to do it. If you have not taken time to reset your goals for the back half of the year, get that document and do it. And I'm giving you a straight call out and straight challenge. If you do that work and you check in with me, send me a message on Messenger. You can email me, JustinCapandPro@gmail.com. Justin, I got my Goal Crusher done. I would love to have a free phone call. You can do that. The other thing you can do too is you can go to JustinCapandPro.com/apply. And if you fill out my application right there, it's just a quick series of questions. You can apply for a free strategy call, and I will do a free strategy call. I usually charge $200 for that call. I'll do a free strategy call with you and help you get on your way to figure out what you need to be doing and how you need to be doing it over the next 90 days. All right, that's what I got for you today, guys. I appreciate y'all are amazing. I know an hour and 7 minutes of your time is so incredibly valuable, so I appreciate you spending your time with me today, guys. If you enjoyed this, I would love for you to share it out to the people that need it. If you're watching on YouTube, please give me a like, a comment, and a subscribe. I would love to have you subscribe to my content. If you're not currently following me on YouTube, guys, check out my YouTube channel. I got a lot of great stuff there that I'm building and working on, so I'd love for you to check me out on YouTube. All right, I gotta go. I will see you later, guys. Take care. God bless, and I will see you all around the web. All right, bye-bye.